Let's talk Terry. What is it about him that allows him to change a game like he did last night?
I think it's the playmaking ability. When Terry is on the field, you just there's a chance, there's a shot, there's a moment. And some of them happen on these big play passes over routes, routes that can go over the top. And so when those ones start coming to life, you know what else happens? Other players, start. So there's a multiplying effect with that goes with his game, with Zach, and with others. So it was a big deal to have him back out there.
You could tell the offense was different, but obviously the headline was Treylon's catch in the back. I was in the press box. You don't cheer in the press box. You're not supposed to react in the press box.
But I hope you did.
I hit J.P. Finley in the arm. I was like, did you see that? What did you see?
I did not have the same view you have, because it was on the opposite sideline from where we're at. So you hear everybody yelling, you hear, the hands go up and everybody's going crazy. And it wasn't until late last night that I said, man, that was something super special. And what's also cool about him, this is a guy, man, who is hungry, he is going for it. And
he has a lot to prove.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing. There's always a space for a person here that's on that spot. I got to prove it, I want to go compete for it. And so he's been an excellent addition for us.
I didn't hear anybody question the decision to go for 2 in overtime. The play was there.
Yep.
It just got knocked down.
Yes.
Last year, every bounce went the Commanders' way. This year, it gets knocked down. At some point, do the coaches, do the teams say, when are we going to catch a break?
I think you think that, but you don't want to go there. And because then you're just planning on hope or that spot. So you want to keep continuing to work. I agree that I don't regret the decision to go. You hate the outcome, but you have to be bold enough to go for it when you're in overtime now that the rules have shifted, different possessions to go. And so sometimes a third possession is, going for 2 as opposed to kicking the extra point, getting them, stopping it, going again. So and like I said, don't regret the decision at all. It was a well-designed play, and I thought, the guy made a good play, too, to knock the ball down. So sometimes you got to give credit to them, too.
In the locker room, Zach was kind of despondent. Some other players were kind of looking on the positive side. Are you frustrated? Where are the emotions that we're at a point in the season where there's even talk about just looking at the silver linings in a loss?
Yeah, it's hard to do, especially right after a ball game. You're right in the fight. This was the exact kind of fight that you like to be in as a competitor. Take a punch, throw one, take one, throw one. It was back and forth, obviously going into overtime, the same space to go do it. So what you want to find is this performance, is our team better than we were 2 weeks ago when we last played? And if you can answer that question as yes, and you elevated, you don't like the result, but did you get better? Did you find ways to improve? And so if you can do that and you can answer that question, now you're making progress, and we've got to keep doing that again.
Where does success, what does success look like for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think, over a year and a half we've done some good things, and we're not going to have a winning season, but that doesn't mean standards of winning habits and part of winning culture. What does that look like from practice? And then that leads into performance. So there's a lot to play for. There's a lot to dig into about setting our culture for not just this season, but for the next decade of how we compete and how we play. So it sucks when you're going through it. The scars are there, but the lessons are deep, and we got to learn them.
I've been told that you talk to Josh Harris every week.
Yes.
Where is the frustration level with this losing streak with ownership?
I think everybody's at a high spot. It's emotional, it's frustrating, it's challenging, it's all of the things you'd expect it to be, and that's why you have to measure on improvement. Are we getting better? Are we finding the things to improve upon? And if you can dig into those right now, and there's 5 games, they all matter. They're all really important, and see if we can improve and go for it again. 4 of them are against division opponents, and so that's a big deal for us.
The defense has looked better. Most people seem to agree over the last couple of days. People are crediting you with that. I talked to Mike Stanner still after the game, and twice he said communication. Is the communication on the defensive side better right now? And if so, how did it get better?
I thought it has been improving, and every good defense, you can hear them before you see it. There's calls ahead. What can you do? Where's the communication front to back, side to side? And so the more you can dig into doing that, it's better. It was also good adding another player back into that who's a good communicator in Will Harris. So seeing that take place again in this game, that was another step in the right direction.
How do you guys get a win against the Vikings? What needs to happen?
No one has to put the cape on, to play a superhuman performance. We have to do our gigs really well. We've got to find a way to get in the plus in the turnover margin. We've been negative. We've been, yesterday right at even. And so finding some ways to, create field position for the offense, that's a big deal for it. Finding our consistency in the run game and the play pass. There's a lot that I would take from yesterday's performance, from toughness and finishing and winning time, not to be confused, with the result. So there's some things that we will definitely pull from that performance into the next one.
Is Jayden going to play?
We'll find out. He's still kind of going through, I would call it like a position-specific contact progression. When you have an elbow injury, it's not, quarterbacks aren't like a running back or a linebacker where you can, kind of get into the contact. So it's more functional, stiff-armed movements on the ground. And if we can get those steps, then he's got a real shot.
People debate whether or not it's worth to bring him back. What do you think of that debate?
Yeah, I recognize the question, but I don't agree with that. This is the developing player, and learn to play that competitive high nature that he's accustomed to, and also, with good decisions doing it. So it's really important.
Before I let you go, I want you to talk about your My Cleats, My Cause. These are, did you design these yourself?
I did not, but I love
you're
them.
A shoe guy.
I am. I love the My Cause, My Cleats.
Prefer the green or the
They both
red,
make
white,
me
and
think
blue?
of the organization. So TAPS, I've worked with for probably going on 10 years, and the acronym stands for Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. So they help the families of the fallen heroes. It's a fantastic organization. So any chance I get to help represent TAPS, they come to games, they come to practices. So a lot of the families through the years have been around me and the program, and so that's a big deal. The second one is called MVP, and it's Merging Vets and Players. And what that means is it's retired combat vets and ball players and fighters having a space to be together. It's kind of like replacing the locker room. And when the uniform comes off, that's a big transition. And knowing there's other people going through some of the same struggles, and so it's a really good program. There's chapters all across the U.S., and I've been involved with them for almost the same amount of time. So two organizations that I think are made up of really special people. So on a day you get to honor them, it's always worth it.
Easy cause for a sneaker guy.
Yes.
Sneakerhead too.
Yes, 100%. All right.
Support. All right. Thanks, Coach.